Oh, welcome to Not for Educational Purposes, where we take a random subject we know nothing about and attempt to understand more about it using the internet, while we careen off topic and see how far away from the original purpose of the show we can get. Please be advised, this podcast is so unhinged that we lost the door centuries ago. There will be nonsense, chaos, lots of giggles, and most importantly, swearing and possibly mild sexual content. You know, all the fun stuff. Not for children. Listen at your own discretion.
Whee!
Not for educational purposes.
Yay!
We're not going to educate you. I've hit record.
Woo!
We're starting again.
We're back, baby!
Yay! No schedule, free form podcasting.
Woo! When it's only been like 4, 5 months?
Shh. No one needs to know.
No one needs to know. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
That's not a thing people need to know. I mean, they know because there's timestamps, but still.
That's true. Oh my god, I just remembered that I left a thing in my car and I was gonna show it to you, and now it's in my car and I can't go get it.
Yes, you can.
I'll get it later.
I can
It's
just
fine.
cut it out. I just cut that section out.
I could go get it. You want me to go get it?
Yeah, go get it.
I'll go get it. Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah, do it. Go for
Hang
it.
on. Stand by. Oh, before I do that, this is my new phone case.
Oh, it's so cute. It's a little cat with a little load circle. I almost did not know what to call that. A little code circle. And like a bunch of math in the background. It's so cute.
It says calculating on it.
I didn't even get the pun. It's so punny. Everyone loves a good math joke.
Everyone loves it.
So Sabrina specifically, that's my fiance. In case anyone doesn't know that, I am in fact engaged.
They're grossly in love.
Yes.
It's kind of disgusting.
I'm dating. I am engaged to like the best person in the world, and you'll hear a lot about them. So
It's true. That's
yes. So my fiance is a math gay. They do in fact exist, which is strange.
Oh, hey, I mean, yeah, I guess I'm also technically a math gay.
Are you a math gay? Okay, but
I do accounting.
oh, that's true. Like actual accounting. Like not accounting. You do
Not
like
accounting. I do real accounting.
Yeah, you mess with numbers. But anyway,
sorry.
so Sabrina will just watch TikToks of people solving math problems for fun. Like people don't create enough problems in their life. They have to add other ones. There isn't enough issues in the world. You have to like come up with your own.
You gotta make math.
Like, I know that I am stressed, but I didn't realize people were not stressed enough that they had to add stress to their life. Like, that sounds so bad.
Here's the thing. That might not be stressful to them. Like, that might be a certain level of stress that's like, this is good stress, because there is good stress.
Where? Show me where there is good stress.
You like cleaning.
Yes, that's not stressful though. That's just.
But it is stressful. It's work. It is taxing on your body. But that is good stress because it relaxes you.
You can't be stressed and relaxed at the same time. That's a what do you call it? Not a conundrum.
Also, there's definitely good stress, and most of it is probably sexual.
Maybe that's why I don't believe it. Because I'm like, there's no such thing.
There's no such thing.
Oh man. Oh.
Anyway, I'm gonna go get that thing. I'll be right back.
Yes. Okay. Go do that thing. Nerd has left. I can say anything that I want to with no repercussions. Ha 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 ha. Don't tell Nerd, but they're kind of freaking great, so we're gonna keep that a secret, just in case. We don't wanna explode the ego. Okay, so that's a secret we have now. You can't tell them. You better pinky promise. Okay, great, thanks. I'm glad we had this talk.
Hold on. Wait.
I am now seeing a box that has been placed upon a desk. I do believe that Nerd has gone to find a pointy object to open said box.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Thank you. This will be a live unboxing.
Nice! It'll be our first live unboxing.
Do you want some ASMR?
Some asthma?
Asthma?
Don't you not like asthma?
I hate it.
Yeah. Who?
But I can't hear it, so it's not an issue for me. This? I'm not going to listen to this. This is for everybody else.
Are you saying you're not going to listen to our podcast?
I actually, I sometimes I do. I feel like I used to, but since I was editing it, I felt like that was me listening to it.
Yeah. If it helps, I have never listened to our podcast apart from when I was editing it.
I don't think I have either.
No.
It's not for us. We recorded it. Why should we listen to it?
Wait, so who? I have a question already.
Oh,
That's not even on the list.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hacking.
Oh, BT dubs, guys. This is not for educational purposes. Welcome to the
Oh,
show.
right.
I'm Nova.
I am Kai.
So yes, this is where we teach you things, or maybe not things. So continue. We're now opening boxes.
Not me just like tearing up some cardboard while Nova tries to speak. Sorry.
No, go for it. Do it. Make things real confusing.
I get it all? I did. 5, 4. I'll deal with that later.
Nice.
Okay.
You got a little dumpster fire.
It did get a dumpster fire.
Does it have the little... Okay, so what I'm seeing is a little red dumpster, of which one flap, if you have ever seen a dumpster, you know, I've got 2 little flaps. One is open, and there's fire coming out of it. And then there's, and I hope this is actually on the thing, there's a little dog. You know the meme, the dog with the coffee that says, "This is fine." It's great. Does it actually have the dog?
It does. This was made by, like, in collaboration with the person who made the original meme.
Nice. That's so exciting. I'm glad they get credit, because, like, it sucks when people make something and they don't get credit.
I know. This is one of my best friends' early birthday gift to me.
When is your birthday again? What?
September 3rd.
You can't
like a month.
You can't try to like make our listeners not know when your birthday is. You've gotta. I'm gonna blast it.
Me with love and affection and maybe some money, please. Thanks.
Yes. Oh, it's so cute.
It's so cute.
It's a little nightlight.
I don't think so. It just looks like it is.
Oh, because I have one of those that's like blue, but it doesn't have the little dog on it, and it lights up if you hit it real hard.
Does it?
Yeah.
No, this one.
Check on the bottom.
There's nothing here.
Oh, then no, it's probably not.
It's just vinyl.
That's
got the
so
dog
cute.
I gotta figure out where to put it. Where am I gonna put you?
On the yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of room in front of me.
Do you still have the cat with you?
No, I do have the cat tree though.
Okay. I was like, there's a cat tower.
Yes. They couldn't take they brought the wrong car to pick up the cat yesterday. It can't fit the cat tree. So they're gonna come back today and pick it up.
Yeah. So nerd like nannies a cat.
Nanny a cat.
She hasn't just like doesn't have like shared custody with a cat. Like
I get paid to look after this cat.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best nannying job.
I'm super down. I love it.
Yeah. As someone with 4 cats, yeah. Cats are the best. I've never not once regretted one of my cats.
Can confirm. Cats are best pets.
Yes. Okay, so who came up with dumpsters? When did dumpsters happen? Like, I know there are landfills.
Okay. Who invented the garbage can? Because dumpsters are just big garbage cans.
Yeah, yes. Technically, well, I feel like no, that's true. Dumpsters are just trash cans for capitalism.
Dumpsters are like trash cans for multiple people.
Yeah. They're like for trolls because they're big.
Eugene Poubelle.
Can you
the inventor of the trash can.
Can you imagine? Sorry, I got a tangent real quick. Like
absolutely. Like
having, you know how there's like trolls under bridges? And they make you like answer riddles. I'm sure we've all run into that conundrum before.
Of course. Every time I cross the bridge.
What if that happened with dumpsters? Like there's just
every time you threw
a little troll underneath, and he said, "Ha ha!" You must answer my riddles 3 before you can throw away your trash. And then he just eats the trash.
I love that.
I feel like that would make things better. We should all have trolls that eat trash instead of throwing them
that
in
would
landfills.
solve like so much if we just had something that consumed trash.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a follow-up question after this.
Like healthily.
Yeah.
Healthily consumed trash. Like actually we're able to like
like eat it
properly and digest it.
Is there like a little microorganism that does that? Or something?
Because plastics we have somehow been able to make a thing that is pretty much impossible to break down.
Why don't we
that's why plastic's so icky.
Why don't we find ways to then make it into, because I know that we can recycle some plastics.
Well, recycling and breaking it down are different things. It's like scientifically.
Okay.
Because breaking it down would be like converting something into energy. So, like if you're for example, if you're digesting it, hold that thought. Write it down if you have to.
I'm gonna explode with ideas or questions.
Yeah, so you'd have to find a way to break down the plastic and like convert it into an entirely different thing, so it stops being plastic. It's like we breathe in oxygen and our lungs convert it to CO2. So we would need something that would take in plastic and turn it into something that isn't plastic. Recycling is taking plastic and turning it into a different plastic. So it is still plastic. Mm-hmm. It's just plastic in a different shape.
Yeah, but then we don't need to make any more. I'm frozen in a really weird way. We don't need to make any more plastic. We just keep reusing our old plastic.
Well, that's what everyone's been trying to tell capitalism to do. Do they listen? No.
Oh no. Okay, so the idea I had was because it won't work this way, but you said energy. What if we just found ways to convert plastic to energy and just lived off that energy?
But how would you do that?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Exactly. The easiest way to do it would be to burn it, and that would put more crap in the atmosphere.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
See the issue?
yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah. I don't know how you would do that. I don't know if you can convert plastic into a usable energy source that isn't like petrol based, because it is petrol based. That's what plastic is. It comes from oil, which is the root of all evil.
Yeah. Why? Who?
We're kind of stuck with plastic.
Who found oil and said, we can make this run shit? Wait, we're still on garbage cans. Oh no.
Probably a white person. Anyway.
Probably. I will hold on to that question. I do want for us to figure that out.
Oh, who was the first person to find oil?
Yeah, and like
who was the first
use
person
it.
to find oil, and then who was the first person to use it? Because I don't think those two are the same people.
Probably not. But still, someone found it and was like, yeah, I found this. Like, I imagine that the first person that found it was like, what is this sticky substance? Gross. And then they tried to get rid of it. And then someone else was like, I can use this for evil. Like, that's what happened.
Oil as a concept has been around for a long time, but it's been like vegetable oil.
1 minute. I gotta yell at Oakley again. Okay, I am back. He has recently been out. I don't know why. For anyone that doesn't know, we have a husky, and he is a terror.
Menace.
Yeah, a menace. The biggest menace. I am not a dog person, and I'm reminded of that daily currently.
He's a big old toddler, and he likes to throw tantrums.
Yes.
For fun.
Yeah. My camera just doesn't want to work. Okay, great.
You can leave it off.
I'm glad because I just keep freezing.
Okay, so who invented the garbage can? It was Eugene Poubelle. He is
Eugene
French.
Poopy?
Poubelle.
That sounds like a bowel movement or a vegetable. Maybe a vegetable that makes you have a bowel movement.
Who knows? He transformed waste management.
What was this before or after people were throwing? Because I know that that's plumbing, but like before or after people were throwing poop into the streets? Were people ever throwing their poop?
I don't have a year, so I couldn't tell you yet. Hold on a moment.
Were people ever throwing their poop into trash cans? Like, I guess chamber pots
eventually
were kind of like poop trash cans, but
that's exactly what that was. Yeah.
A poop trash can.
Yeah,
Oh man!
Except you wouldn't take it outside; you just dump it out the window. So gross.
I feel like if we did that with trash today, that would be bad. That'd be littering.
Yeah, there's a reason these laws are in place.
You know, I remember, speaking of chamber pots, my grandmother had this story that she would tell me about like a time when she was, because my grandmother had my mom in her 40s and my mom is currently in her 50s, if that tells you anything about how old my grandmother was. But she told the story about like, because they lived out in the boonies, so she had a chamber pot. They didn't have like a bathroom, they had an outhouse, and so it was nighttime. Yep. And so she was using the chamber pot. Yep. And apparently this boy she really liked came over and decided to like, because he had like borrowed a book or something, but he wanted to like give it back to her, and so her mom was like, yeah, she's upstairs, and then he walked in on her using the chamber pot.
Oof.
And she shit herself.
Oh.
But you know, it was in the right place, so it's fine. Anyway.
So apparently people would go through towns and buy like worn out objects.
Like thrifting?
Basically.
Okay. What sort of objects were they buying?
I don't know. So inventors competed to come up with new functional spaces for the management of household waste. For example, in 1854, the Englishman Walter Macfarlane created plans for restrooms, washing areas, waste recesses, and in general, both public and private amenities. So they probably didn't have like public bathrooms.
Imagine the time.
1854.
Oh, God.
Gross.
But
this is, to be fair, this is like parts of Europe. The Greeks were fine.
Oh, yeah, but that's because they were smart. But imagine a time that existed when you could invent, like, the most troubling thing that people were trying to invent was a trash can. Like, you could be considered a genius just for inventing a bucket in which trash went into. I can't imagine being, like, the person when people look up who invented trash cans. Like, that's your name. Your name is on trash. Nerd is thinking.
I am.
Oh, no, I was riffing earlier, so I was just adding to that commentary.
I love it. Oh, interesting.
Okay.
So the French name for a trash can is in fact poubelle because of Eugene Poubelle.
That is fitting. That is oddly fitting.
They named it after him, which is kind of cute. So legislation surrounding waste receptacles was first introduced in France in 1883. This order mandated the provision and collection of waste bins to each household in Paris. These bins were specified as having to be between 80 and 120 liters in volume and having a handle and a lid. 3 waste bins were to be allocated to each household in order to sort refuse from reclaimable fibers such as paper and cloth and other reusable materials like ceramics, glasses, and oyster shells. So these guys had recycling back in 1883. I think that's pretty cool.
Okay, so they were recycling.
Yeah.
That's cool. I thought for a second, I was like, they get 3 trash cans? Am I just dumb and don't know how big 100 and something liters are? Or like, do these people just make a lot of trash? But some of them are recycling bins.
So in English, legislation setting out the responsibilities for the provision and collection of receptacles for the temporary deposit and collection of dust, ashes, and rubbish by local authorities in Britain was first set out in the Public Health Act 1875. However, this did not mandate the use of them, leaving the decision to offer the service to local government instead. So the English had people with trash cans before France.
Ah.
But they didn't make them use them.
What? So what were people doing with their trash?
Who knows?
I would like to know. Like, were they just putting it outside?
I don't know.
They're just like,
It doesn't say.
let me just place my trash right here on the street.
Yep.
Okay, so were these like big bins that were outside of their house? Did they have like tiny trash cans inside? Like, I've got a trash can next to my desk that I sometimes empty. In today's trash cans. What size is that? Oh no.
Okay. Yeah, that's like, I would say comfortably a foot by 2 feet.
Okay.
Yay big.
How big are normal trash cans? Are they like 4 feet?
About that big, maybe a little less.
Like outside trash cans? Like rolling trash cans?
Yeah, so the rolling trash cans, the 80 to 100 liter waste bins, the 120 liters are like the big ones.
Yeah.
The roller ones. Most people inside, I think, have like 60 liters. I understand that liters is metric, which is probably why your brain isn't braining.
No, I'm just I'm not a math gay. You could say gallons. You could say gallons and it would be the same. Honestly, you were saying liters and I thought you were talking in American words. I was like, yeah, I follow. I do not.
Well, I shouldn't say that. Liters might be a thing, but they're spelling it wrong.
Are they?
Spelling it like that. That's the wrong spelling. That's the American spelling.
Oh.
Tisk.
Oh no.
So
Do you
wrong. Anyway.
Wait, do you spell liters differently? How? Okay, look, first of all, I don't know how to spell liters in general. So
Okay,
you could show me the Canadian way of spelling it and I would go, that looks right.
Fair enough. So, like, okay, to give you a different example, how would you spell
Oh no, I'm nervous.
center? Like, the center of a page, or like a, how would you spell center? Center of a page.
Oh no. I'm gonna try to sound it out.
Do you want to write it down?
Is it that would not help? Is it
So
CENTER? Is that right? Nice.
So that would be the American way of spelling it.
Okay.
For I believe Canada and most of the Commonwealth countries, so like
Australia.
us, Australia, by definition also England, because they're our quote unquote mother country. We spell it with an RE on the end as opposed to an ER. So it ends up being CENTRE.
Century?
No. The E on the end isn't a hard E.
Center.
So
wait, so what sound does it make?
It's center.
Yep, but that little E at the end.
Right. So how do you spell hare, as in the animal? HARE. You don't say hairy. Same idea.
What?
Hare, as in the March hare.
Hare.
It's a big rabbit. HARE.
So, wait, so yes, but you spell hair many different stupid ways. Why? So
But I'm using this as an example, though.
is it? No, I follow. No, I'm the dumb one here. That is.
You're
that's
not
how
dumb.
it
You're
is.
just dyslexic.
No, the way you spell is correct because language means nothing. So
Stupid. Don't try to learn it.
So is the E silent?
Yeah, like in hair.
Why? Who invented silent letters? Why? Why? Why would you do that? What is the?
You want to know why they did it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
This is the
So,
podcast for these questions.
Right? So you know how French words have a lot of like weirdly silent letters? Like if you want to spell level, it's like LAVEAUX.
That's how you spell level?
Level.
Wait, leval?
La.
Vol.
It's the equivalent of like LAVO.
What does that mean?
I don't remember.
Is it Latin?
And I think it's just a last name, to be honest.
Oh.
But
It sounds French.
it is French. That's what I mean. So the reason that there's so many silent letters in French is because back when you had to write books by hand,
Yes.
some people would get paid by the word.
Okay.
And some would get paid by the letter.
Okay.
So the more letters you have on a page, the more money you would get.
Yes, but the less letters you have to write on a page, the more books you can write and the more money that you get.
No.
I hate this. You mean I have to not know how to spell things because people were greedy? Because of motherfucking capitalism, I failed all of my spelling tests.
This is just why French has so many letters that are silent. I don't know why English has so many letters that are silent, but English is also sort of the melting pot of French, German, and Latin, and a bit of Greek, and it's a garbage language. It's stupid.
Yes, that we can agree on.
Yeah.
I still feel like I can blame that because if English is the melting pot of all of these places,
blame the French.
Yes. French.
Well, I mean, the other reason that English is so hard for, I think we've gone into this before.
Probably. Let's do it again.
About why dyslexia is more common in specifically English, but
oh, we did.
Also,
but I don't remember it
because of the shape of the letters, and also because words that are spelled the same don't sound the same.
No.
So you can't even think phonetically because the phonetic might be wrong.
And
right?
Words that are
differently sound the same.
Yes, but some words that sound different spell the same. Nope. Yes, I said that right. Yeah. I think you said that before. It's both sides. Yes.
So there's present and present.
It's patient and patient.
Those are two different words, but I think they are spelled the same.
They mean different things, and it stresses me out.
One of them is someone who is getting cared for, and one of them is in act of waiting.
Motherfucking there, and there.
There, and there. It's and it's. Read and read and read and read.
Why can't it be spelled the same and just change based on situation? It's situationally
because
context. That would
be too easy.
Exactly.
But that is exactly how most, for example, most East Asian countries work. They have words that are spelled exactly the same, but that are different based on the context of the sentence.
Yeah. So
which would be
Sabrina and I were looking up something because we're watching the show that's really cool. It's called The King's Affection. I
love that. I love that show. I love that show so much.
So I know it's supposed to be straight, but that's the queerest love story I have ever seen.
It's great. It's so good.
I was so in this show, we're gonna tangent real quick.
Absolutely. Let's go for it.
In this show, there is a guy there. So the queen gives birth to two twins, right? One is a girl, one is a boy, and the king is we have to kill the girl, or this is the princess that's to be the queen. It's a whole thing.
There's a reason for that.
Yes.
Would you like me to explain why?
No, I understand. I think I got it. So the crown prince. Hold on. Why it's bad?
No, why she was supposed to be killed.
Oh, no, I got it. So it's about the twins are born of the crown prince, which is the guy that's supposed to be the king. And so his wife had those twins, and then the king was you should kill the girl because we can't let the people know that the son was sharing a womb with a girl. You can't have that because fucking patriarchy bullshit. But instead the queen pulled some fuck shit and they made the baby look dead, and then she sent the baby off to go and BT dub spoilers. I hope people whatever
just watch the show.
Yes, watch the show. But she got sent off and ended up in the palace when she was like 12 as like one of the maids or whatever, and then the prince finds out, and they look like her brother finds out, and they look identical, and they did a great job of casting these two characters. It was great. They look so close to the same person.
They're the same actor.
Really? I thought they had cast twins.
No, they just lowered the voice of the actress for the prince.
I'm so sad. I was so excited about that.
They're definitely both the girl.
Well, they fooled me. Especially,
they did a really good job, I have to say.
Yeah, that's why I thought they were the same person. I feel real silly now.
Yeah.
So
no,
anyway,
they're the same person.
Well, they're okay. Yes. So someone ends up finding out that that she's still alive, and so orders to have her killed. But the like little twins decide to do little sneaky twin shit, and they don't know they're related. So, but the prince is like, you should pretend to be me so I can go out and do normal people stuff. And so they do, because she can't say no because she's a maid and he is the prince's son. The little boy gets killed because he's pretending to be her at the time when like they're going off and like being like, we gotta kill this bitch. So he gets killed. And then the queen finds out. It's a whole thing and it's bad time, but the queen's like, oh, I gotta protect her because if I don't, we're all gonna die. So she grows up. The girl twin grows up to be the king, like full on. We watch her go into like her 20s or whatever. I remember where this was going. I got lost for a second. And like as a kid, there was this little boy that fell in love with her, and she fell in love with him, but like they had to quit seeing each other because she had to go be the king or the prince. And so he ends up coming back after he pulls some fuck shit, and I love him. He's great, but he has to be like the tutor for the crown prince, who is this girl now, under the disguise of her being a boy. And he starts to fall in love with the prince, and he's like, I can't be falling in love with this guy. It's a bad time. And see, I was worried that they were gonna be like, oh, the reason I fell in love with you is because you're a girl. That's what I was worried about. But no, he straight up goes, I don't care if you're a girl. I don't care if you're a boy. I love you. And I was like, so this is a pan motherfucker. Just in the show, they did it perfectly. And also, there's a moment where she gets dressed up in like dresses and stuff and goes back into has to go back into dressing like a man, and when she puts on the masculine clothes, she's just like, this feels more comfortable, this feels more me. And I was like, do we have a non-binary person as well? Like, they're not gonna say it, but
I also particularly love that I don't think you've watched a lot of shows where the female lead dresses up as a man.
No, we watch a lot of gay shows.
Yeah, and I have watched a lot of straight shows where the female lead dresses up as a man, and it's always terrible. Like, they keep like her feminine makeup, they keep her feminine hair, they don't bind her. So it's kind of just like, you're a woman wearing a man's thing. And like, I as a woman don't particularly understand how anybody would be convinced that you're even a little boy. Like, I understand you're supposed to pass as a little boy.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah. You have hips, my girl.
Yeah, you've got to do something about that.
But the thing that I really liked about The King's Affection is that they actually like dove into that in like the second episode, where they show you
her binding,
her being bound.
Yeah.
And like the process of that. And I think that's really cool because they never fucking do that.
Well, their casting of her was also fantastic.
Oh,
like,
my
she
God.
looked so androgynous.
I know.
It was wild.
But I love that the main dude was like, am I gay?
I know.
I might be gay.
And then he just accepts it. He's like, yeah, I'm gay.
Like, well, I guess here we are.
Yeah, like, we watch him go through his like sexual like awakening and like trying to figure out what his sexuality is. He's like every queer person goes through this. They're like, I'm straight. I'm gay.
Am I straight?
And especially if you're like someone who's like bi or pan, like you go through that, you're like, I'm gay. I'm definitely gay. And then you're like, no,
Wait a minute.
I like both or everything.
But I also like that when he figured out that she was a woman, it wasn't like, oh, thank fuck. It was like, oh, okay.
He's like, oh,
I mean,
I just don't care what's in your pants.
Like, I thought you were pretty as a man, and now that I know you're a woman, I think you're pretty as a woman. It's like, awesome. I love it.
They did it in such a good way, and I'm very excited about it. I did have to, we haven't finished it, and I did have to Google the ending because this show causes me so much stress.
Listen, I quite like the ending. I like how it ended.
Oh, from my Googling, I think I'm going to like how it ends. Yeah. But
I understand the stress because it was just like, oh god, she's gonna fucking die.
At every turn, you're like, oh no.
There's like 4 different people trying to kill her.
But she's so okay. So we were sitting there talking about the show, and Serena was like, man, she's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And I was like, bitch, she's playing 3D chess while everyone else is playing tic-tac-toe. Like, that's how this is going.
Even, like, to be perfectly honest, I think, not to speak ill of the dead, but I think that if the prince had stayed the prince, none of this shit would have happened, and the kingdom would have been fucked.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like, royally fucked.
He seemed like he was a troublemaker, and like he would have definitely stirred some shit up, but she was intelligent.
Yeah. She got like the brains.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Like he had a lot of charm, but
and I do think that he was stubborn because the reason, and like righteously stubborn.
Yeah.
Because the reason that he left her that day to go out gallivanting and then got himself killed is because he was going to go find someone who was getting exiled. Yeah. It was his old teacher or something like that.
Yeah.
It was. The reason that person was getting exiled is because they were teaching the prince things that the people in power didn't want him to know. And so I think that if he had lived, he would have still been successful, but maybe not as successful as her.
He wouldn't have been able to... The difference between him and her is she's able to manipulate the court.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think he would have been able to do that as successfully.
I think he would have been too headstrong.
Yeah. He'd have been like, no,
like
my way.
Too visibly headstrong.
Yeah.
Like, she's headstrong too, but she's headstrong in a way that she's very diplomatic.
Yeah,
which I don't think he would have been able to accomplish.
She reminds me of, you've seen Under the Queen's Umbrella, yeah?
I have not, but I've seen clips of it.
You have to watch it. It is literally my favorite show. Like, I want to be the woman I want to be the queen. I want to be her so much.
She's great. I love her.
I love her. But like, so the main character in The King's Affection reminds me a lot of the queen in the other show. Like, they're very similar.
Both very, very strong characters, both headstrong, but not in a corrupt way.
Yeah. Like, very much so looking out for the people and looking out for those that need it. Like, there's even a similar scene in still spoilers, where the queen and Under the Queen's Umbrella like helps someone who like is lower class from getting beat up by a noble. And in the King's Affection, there's a very similar scene where the king does that, or I think he's the prince at the time, but it's so wild. Anyway,
I love that show.
Yeah, it's such a good show. Trash cans.
I think. Okay, so here's a good idea. Who patented the dumpster? Because then we know who.
Do you think the name dumpster is the same as like?
Do you want to know what the last name of this guy is?
Yes.
Dempster.
Like Dempster with an
E? As opposed to dumpster. It's Dempster.
said, I want it to have my name, but I don't want it to be the same.
But it's like, what is the history of the Dempster Dumpster?
Dempster Dumpster. Oh no. Oh no.
1935.
Really?
Yep.
That's
It's because George Dempster and his brothers didn't have a way of throwing out enough stuff when they were doing construction.
Oh, so they were like, let's build a bigger bucket.
Build a bigger bucket.
Bigger shit in it. Oh no. So is this a good invention or a bad invention?
Well, I mean, that depends on your outlook, right?
Yeah, I mean,
consider it a good invention. The problem is that we're throwing away things that could be reused.
yeah, or like
So
that could be
I think the
recycled.
invention itself is fine.
Yeah.
I think the way we're using the invention, less fine.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
That's where I'm at with that.
Ugh. So how were people like getting rid of their garbage before the trash can was like? Were there still landfills and like dumps
Very likely, yes.
way back in ye olden times? I wonder how like the
Romans
Romans dealt with trash.
How did the Romans deal with trash? That's a great question.
Yeah, because didn't they have like whole like porta potty rooms where you could go in and like your poop would get taken away?
Probably. They had some forms of plumbing.
I feel like of it in all times that I would like to live in, I feel like that would be the best one. Like women still weren't like respected, but like
I would almost argue Viking.
yeah, but that's a lot of killing.
True, but the women were
Yeah, they had a
generally
lot
well respected, and they also were like oddly more clean than most people. Like they bathed themselves, which is why a lot of the northern Germanic women really liked the Vikings, because they were clean and didn't smell bad.
That's fair. Okay, I can get behind that. Were they still like pooping in the woods?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know what Viking infrastructure looked like.
That's weird. I feel like that's a thing we should have learned in school at some time.
Viking infrastructure?
Like just infrastructure of different.
Yeah. No, I mean, that requires a certain amount of records from back in the day, and I think a lot of those records have been
destroyed.
Lost to time.
Oh. That's also fair.
Or they were destroyed on purpose.
Why would they be destroyed on purpose? That doesn't make like
to push forward a narrative.
I hate history. History is a great fanfic of the people that wrote it.
It's like, the Bible. it's fan fiction.
It is. It's some hardcore fan fiction.
Hardcore fan fiction.
It's a little too hardcore for me.
Is fun.
What do you mean? It's in there.
Probably. There's got to be an orgy in there or two.
Okay. I have more questions. Is there fan fiction written about the Bible characters? Like, is there smut about Jesus and his disciples?
Wait, I can find the answer to this. I
need to know.
Yep.
Oh no! I forget that you read smut.
I do, but I gotta. There's less than I was expecting.
Really?
I will say.
How much is less?
Well, so the overall, I might be looking up the wrong thing.
Okay, that makes sense.
We can do a specific one. We'll do a tag instead. Oh yeah, that is also Jesus.
Jesus.
Specifically Jesus Christ Superstar. Weird. Okay.
Oh no, that's a musical.
That is a musical. There are less than I expected in just the titular quote unquote Jesus Christ, which is not necessarily about Jesus Christ. It's just a tag. There's 1,400.
I feel like that's still a lot. How much is a lot typically? Oh no.
I don't know if you want that answer.
I mean, yeah. For reference, I don't read smut. Like, this is just not a thing.
So the amount of works under BTS is currently 209,633.
What do you mean? That's so much. Who all is like, I want to write my own schmut about these people? I can't. Maybe it's because
It's not all smut.
Maybe. Oh, okay.
It's not all smut. Some of it is just.
How
like,
much of it is schmut, though?
The explicit. The number of explicit ones is 53,000.
53,000. That's still so much. Why are so many people? Okay, so I am writing multiple, or trying to write multiple books, right? And an afterthought is like, oh, maybe I should give them a romantic partner. Not once. Like in that, I'm like, they'll smooch, and that's it. Like, it's not even.
Well, yeah, but that's the sex in different Ace and you speaking.
Like, what is sex? Who knows?
Who wants this?
Who?
Why would you want this?
Right? I don't understand. Oh no. But I get so uncomfortable. Like how you have to like step away from like videos and stuff when you're like, you're like watching some videos, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I feel about anything.
Yeah.
Like really?
Anytime anything remotely sexy happens in a show, like even just kissing, I have to pause and like take a minute. I have to be like, okay, whoa.
So
calm down.
So sometimes, when we're trying to go to bed and my brain is working overtime, it comes up with questions for my partner who is not Ace,
Right.
and reads smut and stuff. So I ask many questions about the sexin. And one of these questions I was like, is like porn and schmut and those sorts of things like a form of voyeurism?
Way. Yeah, it
Is
can
that
be.
like I just want to watch. I don't want to be involved. Because I know there's like POV
absolutely.
stuff, but like, does that count?
Sorry, what?
Like, there's POV stuff, but does that like count? Would that still count as
Those
voyeurism?
make me uncomfortable. I don't like those. I don't like reading things where I'm supposed to be the main character. I don't like that.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
It makes me really uncomfy. But like reading about somebody else's sex life, great. That's fine.
I just want to watch. It's fine.
It's not even I want to watch from like a sexual point of view. Because like voyeurism makes it sound like I'm getting off on it. I'm not.
Okay.
And maybe for people who
you're also Ace.
Yes. But like this is a me thing. Like maybe for people who aren't Ace, it is a form of voyeurism and they do get off on it. I don't. It makes me quote unquote feel good, but not in like a sexy way. I don't know how to describe it. It's a like, yeah, these people are loving each other and that's like cool and shit.
So why do people read smut if not for like...
Most of them do read it because it's sexy and they like that, and they do get off on it. That is probably why most people read smut.
Yeah.
That's not why I read smut, but
so is it,
you know,
like watching two people like just get in a relationship and be like, oh, they're finally happy together?
Yeah.
Is it the same thing? So
yeah.
Is it just like an intense version of that, or like?
Yeah.
So
because like there's also the romance aspect of it, right? Like there are some stories where it's just smut and they just fuck each other, and like those are great too. But
why?
The majority of the ones that I read are like romance fic.
Yeah.
So it is romance with like added smut to it. And the neat thing about that is like, these people are really in love with each other, and like this is them showing each other how much they're in love with each other in a sexy way. I don't understand my brain.
No. It's yes. I don't. It doesn't compute.
It's a sexual thing to me,
I don't.
as opposed to it like a sexual thing. It's the same reason I go to kink parties.
Oh.
I don't go to kink parties because it's sexy. I go to kink parties for like the feeling of it.
So it's like, because like kink doesn't have to inherently be sexual.
Exactly.
So it's like kink without being sexual.
Yeah.
That I can follow. Okay. Oh, I thank you for explaining that. I hope that helps somebody else as well.
Yeah. Yes. Hello. We have the smut averse ace, the smut happy ace, who also like is weirdly sex averse. The sex averse but smut happy ace.
Yes. Just want other people to be together.
Yeah, I just want them to have a good time.
Yeah.
Like, if I happen to be in the room when that happens, great. If I don't, also great. But, like, I want to hear about it, you know?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It's like, tell me all the things that you were able to do.
It's like gossip.
Yeah, I get that. I like gossip.
I like gossip.
Who doesn't? I mean, that's the whole point of this.
Maybe.
Oh, man. Oh Lord, there's another show that we were watching together, like Sabrina and I, and there was a whole new episode, like an additional episode that came out, that Sabrina was like, oh, this dropped on a thing, we could watch it, and she was like, do you want to watch it? And I was like, okay, is it plot or is it mostly just them fucking each other? And she was like, it's mostly just them fucking each other. And I was like, I'm good. I don't think I need to watch that. Like, I love shows where like it takes a little while for people to get together, and then
like the slow burn.
Yeah, I freaking love a slow burn.
Yeah.
It stresses me out so much. I'm just like, yes. But like, I love when it gets to the final episode, and that's when they're like finally together, and they like kiss for the first time, and I'm like, absolutely, this is the best thing in the world.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay.
I've been watching K-dramas for a hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
And by hot minute, I mean like maybe 7 or 8 years-ish. I forget when fucking that site came out that I used to watch on. Anyway, that's how all of them used to be. All of them. If the leads so much as like touched hands in the first 10 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
that was like scandalous. And if they kissed before like the second to last episode, that was like raunchy. And all of the kisses weren't even real kisses. It was like
smooch
closed mouth, just.
Oh man. So
It was so bad!
there's a show that we're going to talk about in the other podcast that we eventually start, called Boys Over Flowers. We just finished. It's the Korean
You
one.
finished it? How did you get through it? I don't know how I got through it.
So okay, so I ate it up. I love to hate it. It was the worst show I've ever seen.
Now you gotta watch all the remakes.
Oh no, we're going to. That's
Nice.
this. So
Good.
we're gonna start another podcast where we review really shitty shows and movies. You should go listen to it.
Garbage.
It's called Garbage. Yes. It's gonna be the best.
Or it might be called The Dumpster Fire. We're not quite sure.
We are workshopping it. But this will probably be a whole series where we do like each season. But
Show is so bad.
I screamed at her so much because not only did she date the wrong, like, I swear to God, there's a character that she should have ended up with, and not just like she should have ended up with him, blah blah blah. Like, the other guy that she ended up with is toxic. They only ever fought. And this other guy was so sweet and so kind. He was always there for her. Like, she called him her, like, firefighter.
Her soulmate!
Yes, literally. Literally her soulmate. Oh my God. It was so...
And she still didn't date him.
No, she didn't. She married the other guy.
She married the other guy. Like,
God.
fucking why? And this dude is still in love with her after she's married.
Yes.
And, like, stays by her side through med school and purposefully fails so that he can continue to stay with her through med school.
Yep. He went, like, we're just like, the bare minimum. No, he went above and beyond every single chance he could. I was like screaming the whole time.
That was one of the very first. It was not the first show I watched.
Yeah.
But it was one of the early shows that I watched, and I remember watching it when I was younger. Like, I forget when it came out.
Early 2000 something or other.
Yeah, it's been around for a hot minute.
At least the Korean version. You know, there's a Japanese version, right?
Yeah, there's a Japanese version. There's technically 2 Japanese versions because they made a sequel.
They just made a Thai version that we're gonna watch.
There's a Thai version and there's a Chinese version.
Yeah.
Like, this show was successful when it came out. 2009. Okay, so that 2009 was the year that I got into K-pop. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't quite into K-dramas yet. And I got into K-dramas, I think, in like 2010, 2011, because one of the guys in a K-drama, in a K-pop group that I liked, was gonna be in a K-drama, and I was really excited about it. So that's when I started watching K-dramas, and I was like, I'm gonna eat this up. But I was like, in my teens, and you don't really understand the concept of anything when you're in your teens. And so I ended up watching Boys Over Flowers. And when I was a teenager, that shit was amazing.
Yeah.
I still hated the main character, and I was really mad at the end.
Because he's garbage.
No, I mean the main lady, because she's so meek. Like, she drives me nuts.
Well, okay, so, sorry. Another problem I have with this show is all the female characters start off really strong and really powerful and really on their own, and they change their personalities to be these boy-crazy bitches that are just like,
except
the sister?
No, the best friend.
Oh, yeah! I love the best friend.
Her.
Yeah.
She is, like, she's the only lady in that show that I even remotely respect.
Well, I really liked Junpyo's sister.
Yes,
she was also a badass.
The lady who ends up running the whole business. She's great. Yeah. I love that woman. She needs to smack her brother over the head, but it's fine.
Yeah,
that's not the point. But I liked the best friend because she started out pretty meek and like unconfident, and as she's one of the only people that, as the show progressed, she kind of came more into her own and like accepted herself and accepted the general vibe of like, this guy doesn't like me right now, but that's okay, and like that's chill, and he's gonna go away, and eventually he might come back, and then he does, and I thought that was cute. I like their romance. Their romance was adorable.
Yeah.
Even though he's an asshole for like 90% of the show.
Yeah.
But by the end, he's not.
Okay.
Like, all right.
I need to ask you, did you get gay vibes between him and the Mafia kid?
The Mafia kid is like definitely bi-coded for sure.
Yes, but the artist, the Potter, and him have to be gay for each other.
So, I think the Potter was gay, if I'm being honest.
Maybe that's why he kept going through all these girls. Because he was actually in love with his best friend. Like, the whole moment where he, like... First of all, where did that sewer slide plot come from? Out of the blue. They were like, we have to give him a personality.
We gotta give this guy airtime.
Yeah. So, like, the whole episode where he's, like, walking along the bridge and the guy, like, the other guy rips him down and, like, throws him onto the car, I thought he was fully about to kiss him.
The plot is ridiculous. I don't know what happened to the plot.
Makes some sense. Like, we made it all the way through, even to the last 2 episodes are so fucking slow. It was
so bad.
garbage. We
so bad.
struggled through those.
God.
But anyway, the point of this is that when they kiss in that show, they just like press their faces together. There's no puckering.
It's just like it's just flat lips, just pressed, and it is so awkward.
It's so bad.
Oh my god. So I distinctly remember the first show that I watched that didn't have that. Where it was like an actual, real, honest to God, these people are kissing.
Like they smooched.
They actually smooched. Like they made out under a lamppost. Very romantic. It was snowing. It was called Mudem School. And I really liked that show.
Mm-hmm.
I still like that show.
Mm-hmm.
I forget when it came out, but it was like slightly supernatural. It's 2016. Okay, yeah, fair enough. It was slightly supernatural-esque in it was basically like you go to this school in the woods for slightly magical kids.
Oh. Nice.
But it was about like this orphan boy who was the main character, and he like discovers that he can sort of kind of maybe do a little bit of magic. And gets shipped off to this school.
Yeah.
There's like an overarching government agency trying to like get a thing, and he becomes best friends with the overarching government agency's son. And they form like a brotherly bond. And it was really good.
That sounds so wholesome.
It was quite wholesome, and I liked that, like no one got torn apart at the end by betrayal and like bullshit. But it was good. It was a good show. Yeah, I also like, because of, just to go back a little bit, because of Boys Over Flowers, anytime I see main character man with the fucking curly hair,
it's so bad that he could have just run his fingers through his hair and it would have been fine, but it's like they stuck rollers on his head and just like pulled them out.
I know, but the issue now is that was the first instance that I'd ever seen him before.
Oh no.
So now anytime I watch a show with him in it, I'm just kind of like,
is he still in other stuff?
Yes. He's like, believe it or not, he's actually a good actor.
Oh no.
I know it's hard to believe.
Well, I feel like a lot of the people in that show were decent actors.
They're good, yeah.
Plot
It's
was
just the writing shit. But if you ever end up, there's a show called The King, Eternal Monarch, which I believe might be written by the same people who did The King's Affection. I could be wrong. But The King, Eternal Monarch is a little bit gory. It's gorier than I expected.
Okay.
But it's a good show.
Okay.
Like, it's intriguing. It involves like alternate dimensions, and he plays the king who travels to the alternate dimension where he meets the woman that he falls in love with.
Yeah.
And it's really good. The only thing that bothers me is the time travel aspect, because they did that terribly. But if you're not a science fiction nerd, it's not going to bother you.
Yeah, it's really hard for people to do time travel correctly. It's often really bad.
They don't do it correctly. That's the only gripe that I have with this show. And I can ignore it because the show is so good.
Yeah. Well, it's been fun. We're not really going to be on a schedule, so.
No, this is gonna happen when it happens.
Yes.
And if this is the only podcast episode you get for 6 months,
sorry,
that's just how it is.
It's gonna happen. Yeah. Okay. Well, go out and make decisions. And
if they're hopefully good decisions, but if they're bad decisions, at least have like a friend with you.
Look, sometimes in neurodivergent land, just making a decision is
make a decision. Yes.
Okay. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. You can find us in links.
Well, I guess we're not on Twitter anymore because Twitter doesn't exist.
No, I've deleted my Twitter.
Yeah, so we may or may not be on what Twitter is now.
I think we should not be. That sounds bad.
We will not be on what Twitter has turned into.
We should make an Instagram and we can
we could.
post
I could do that.
We should make a how did we get here productions Instagram, not like a not for educational purposes. And we could post not for educational purposes stuff on there.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I could do that. I can swap it over. But yes.
That sounds fun.
We're on the internet. We have links places.
I know.
You'll find them if you look for them.
On my Instagram and on my link tree, there's a link to the How Did We Get Here production stuff, and that's where all of our podcasting stuff is. So you should go check it out because there's quite a few podcasts that are going to be coming up. I know I'm working on a true crime podcast with somebody. We're going to be starting our show review podcast. Also follow nerd/Kai on all the things.
All the things. We have links to our links on the How Did We Get Here link.
Yeah, you should find those things.
Sometimes I stream on Twitch, but not lately.
Nice. I'm supposed to be doing that soon too, so maybe eventually. Oh, are we back on Spotify?
We should be.
Yeah,
yes.
We're back on Spotify. You should go. Also go. I don't know. Rate some stars and all those sorts of things.
We also have a Patreon if you feel like supporting us monetarily.
Yeah. You should go check out the Patreon, where you'll get Patreon exclusive, longer episodes of the podcast.
We're not very active on there right now.
No, we're not. But that's where a lot of the other podcasts are going to be as well. So yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be a good time.
We're going to figure it out. Yeah. It'll be fine.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
There we go. Perfect.